Hi friends, it is Tanya with Sweet Tea Stampin' Spot, and I'm coming to you. It is the 22nd of March for a Let's Do Lunch, and I'm going to be sharing a project today with you from the mini catalog, the January to June mini catalog. And it's one of the projects we did at our recent mega stamp camp, which was not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, where we had a great group of crafters and stampers out in Virginia Beach. And right now I'm getting my computer caught up with me to see if anyone is watching, and if you have any comments or if you want to say hi, let me know. Just pop a comment in the comment box, or give me a thumbs up or a wave or a heart or something. I am going to be sharing, like I said, a project with you all from the January to June mini catalog. So I think I just got a thumbs up from somebody, but I missed who it was. So thank you for that. All right, so let's see. It is, like I said, it's 12:30ish, and I'm going to be sharing a project with you. And I want to remind you about some upcoming things. So tomorrow is a big day if you're a demonstrator, which I know several of you that watch are. We will be getting our first peek on the electronic version of the new catalog. We will also know all 5 of the end colors by tomorrow. So if you've been following along on the demonstrator planning place, then you will know that there's already been 4 of them shown to us. They're working on the 5th one right now. Each day they've been giving us clues and a little snippet of that. So that's exciting stuff. So we'll get to see the entirety of the new catalog online if you're a demonstrator. We will also everybody will get the retiring list. So that is one thing in my project today. I'm using 2 of the retiring colors, the in colors, the Bumblebee and Misty Moonlight. So this is my friendly reminder that if you want any of the in colors that are retiring, that's Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, or Misty Moonlight, now is the time. So if there's something you want as far as ink refills, ink pads, cardstock, markers, embellishments, DSP that have those colors, they will be retiring, ribbons, all those kinds of things. And so now is the time to get those ordered. I did not have time to check today and see if anything is already sold out. But those will be while supplies last items only. So, and all the retiring products will be. They don't really extend the dates very much for the products once they go to the retiring list. So just keep an eye on that. And if you need to get an order in before your things are gone, doing it online is the best way, because if you wait until I can put the order in or wait to contact me, it could be gone. So putting your order in online using a host code, if you're less than $150, is preferred. And if you're doing 150 or more, then use your own party workshop and get your benefits there for the Stampin' Rewards. Of course, if you want to get the starter kit, if you're spending anywhere near 100, you can always get 125 in product for $99, and you get free shipping on that as well. And you would just sign up to get the starter kit, and you don't have any obligation for long term to be a demonstrator, but you can always get that starter kit and get your items at a discount right away. So I'm going to flip my phone down now and show you a couple things, and then we're going to get to stamping. So hope you can stamp along with me, or just maybe watch. I've just covered my camera with a little post-it note, so you're probably seeing pink or red, and I'm flipping down and around so that you don't get seasick, and I'm hoping that you can see my desktop in just a second here, and it's shaking a little bit, but I'm trying to get it to not shake. So hopefully you can see the mini catalog, and this is the one that I will be showing products out of today on my project. So I'll be featuring on page 58, 59, this is where the bulk of the products are, is the Heart and Home Suite. This is considered a mega suite because there's 2 stamp sets as part of it and 2 dies. So there's 2 different bundles, and you can of course buy these parts individually. There's an embossing folder, There's some denim ribbon, which is a returning thing. They used to have this item before. These matte dots, which I've used on a couple projects. There's some fun doilies. I'll be using that today. There's, of course, a wonderful pack of designer series paper. And then there's also the Memories and More Heart and Home card pack, and then the envelopes and cards. So this is a mega sweet, and you can get the whole thing. It is quite a bit, but it's $155.75 for the entire thing. That'll give you everything in there. So 2 stamp sets and dies and all of these products here. I'm going to be using 1 stamp out of here, a couple of stamps out of here, the dies out of here, the embossing folder, the ribbon, the doilies, and some designer paper. So I'm using a lot of the elements on my project today. Like I said, this is a card that I used at our mega stamp camp back on March 12th, so 10 days ago. It was a Saturday. It was a lot of fun. We're excited to host our next one, which will probably be this summer. Oh, I see a bunch of highs. Hi, ladies. I'm just noticing the comments. I'm just rambling on. So let me get going on the stamping. And so, like I said, if you are interested in buying any product that's going to be retiring, the list comes out tomorrow for our retiring product list. And so if you want to put it on a workshop order, you can use this host code to shop with me, and that's at tanyareed.stampinup.net, and it's KKTGET76. This host code will be available through March, and again, if you've got something that you want that's going to possibly be retiring, which we know all the in colors will be, better hop on it soon. And if you come up and go online and go to order something and it says it's currently unavailable, message me and I can check to see if we know if it is going to return or if it'll be available later or if it has already sold out. I can help you look that up as well. All right, so that's my host code right now. So let's get going. Here is the card I'm going to be making today. And I've already pre-done a little bit of it. I don't know if you can see the Wink of Stella on there, but I did do Wink of Stella on the flowers too. So a fun little project here. All right, so let's start with our stamping. So I am using out of one of the stamp sets, Honeybee Home. I'm going to be using this stem of flowers here, and also this stem. That's our main focal point. I did not use any greetings out of this one. I chose to use the greeting out of here that says, "Thank you for inspiring me." And this again is part of the full suite, the 2 different stamp sets. And then of course they have the coordinating die sets and then the embossing folder. So it's a lot of product in this suite. So I think I've got everything prepped to go. So I have cut out from the Stitch So Sweetly die set, one of the larger rectangles with the stitching and the scalloped edging there. And we're going to stamp this floral stem with the Sahara sand. This is kind of a background part of the project. So we're going to stamp that kind of down towards the bottom of this. Sorry, I'm shaking the whole camera, I think. I'll try to avoid doing that. And again, that's Sahara sand ink that I'm using. So I've just got the 3 stems there. And then I'm going to do the greeting. And the greeting is in the Misty Moonlight ink. So this is one of our retiring colors. So if you love this one like me, you're going to be sad to see it go. But who knows, it could return one day in the future. You never know. And I'm going to be using the Thank You for Inspiring Me stamp from the Blessings of Home part of the suite. And I will put in the description of this video, I will include the item numbers and the colors and the paper, all the details on what I used today. So that's just the greeting there. Thank you for inspiring me. Then I've got just a strip of basic white, and this was on basic white as well. And I'm going to stamp that large floral stem, and that's going to also be in the Misty Moonlight ink. So let me ink that up. Okay. Don't forget, there's also a sale going on right now. This the sale is the spring into savings sale. And so there's some die bundles out of our regular catalog that are 20% off. And also the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is also 20% off. So it's normally $60 and it is on sale for $48. So if you are in the market for one of the newer Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines, the mini machine, which I've used a few times here on my Facebook Lives, it is on sale for $48. And that's an awesome deal. So I have, in fact, when I cut these out, I did use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I used the die to cut this out, and now I'm going to do some blending with some blends, not our blend, some blender pens, not the blends markers, but the blender pen. So these come in a 3-pack out of the regular catalog, and it's a type of watercoloring, but you're really just picking up ink for coloring in some spots on the project. And I'm going to use a little bit of ink that I've squished the pad together. So basically you just take it and squish it together like this and get a little bit of color there on the lid. You don't want to put these or like watercolor paint pens or watercolor painters. You don't want to put them directly in the ink pad because it will dilute it. So what you want to do is get a little bit of a palette of ink right there on the lid. So I'm just going to pick this up with my blender pen and just color in, just touch some of these leaves, just to add a little of the Misty Moonlight to the leaves. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that coming through on the camera. I'll hold it up in just a second, but I'm just adding a little bit of that Misty Moonlight color to the leaves. So maybe you can see it better now, I hope. And so I'm now going to switch to a different color. So what you're going to do for this, for the blender pen, is just on your scratch paper, just kind of make sure it comes out clear, and then you can switch colors. And I'm going to switch to Bumblebee, another of the retiring in colors. And we're going to make our little flowers here Bumblebee yellow. So I'm going to pick up some of that color and color in these flowers. And I have no idea what kind of flowers these are supposed to be. I know I've got some people on here that do some gardening and flowers. So if you know what these flowers are supposed to be, please comment and tell me, because I don't know. I don't know what color, what kind of flowers are going to be. So I'm just going to color in. And with the blender pens, you can always add more, but you can't take away. So you just kind of do it lightly at first, and you can always add some, but you don't want to overdo it either, because sometimes it can break down the paper if you do it too much. So just kind of pay attention to that. And you can just see I'm just picking up the color. Feel like Bob Ross right now. And then add a little bit on these buds. Okay, anyone know what these flowers are supposed to be? So I've just colored those in quickly. And again, I'm going to take this, and you can kind of see where it's yellow right now. Just keep rubbing it until it goes clear, and then you would be ready to use it in a different color. Of course, I'm done coloring this one, but this is now ready to use. But of course, when I go to use it the next time, I would probably just make sure it comes out clear. So again, don't forget your retiring in color. So you got Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. Those are the 5 that are retiring. Keep that in mind. All right, and then I'm going to put some Week of Stella on this at the very end. So let's get our other elements of the card together. So the card base is also Sahara sand. So it's just a 5.5 by 8.5 standard card base. And then I'm going to put the piece, I've done the Hive embossing folder on the piece of Misty Moonlight, and that's going to get adhered right down to my card front. I love the texture on this Hive embossing folder, and you could use it either way depending on what your project looks like, but I'm going to do it so that the Hive goes in, not out, so it looks more like a honeycomb kind of Hive folder texture. All right, so I just put that flat down. Now, I told you I was going to use some of the designer series paper, so this is a piece of it. What you will note is that on the back of all the pieces of the designer paper in this pack, the Heart and Home, they all have this wood grain. It's kind of a grayish color wood grain, but there's different textures that they do. And then, of course, they have all the different designs on the other side, but all 6 designs have some kind of wood grain. One's diagonal, some are wider, some are narrower, some are different wood grain textures, but I really love this designer paper. So I'm going to take this piece, which is, I believe, 1 3/4 by, let's see here, 5 1/4. And I'm just going to tear off a little bit of one end just to give it some texture there. And then I'm going to adhere this to a piece of, this is actually Saffron. This is not Bumblebee. I went a little bit lighter for this layer here. Even though I used Bumblebee to color, I only used Saffron here. So I'm going to add these together. I'm going to use my adhesive again. And the Saffron piece is 2 inches by 5.5, I believe. Yes. 2 inches by 5.5. So I'm going to adhere this so that it's flush to the top. There. And then I'm going to take and just tear a little bit of that edge. And it doesn't have to exactly match, just tearing it to give it again some texture. Okay. And then I am going to put this down, but before I do that, I'm going to tie a piece of the denim ribbon. Loving this yellow and blue combo. I'm just going to put that towards the top of this and double knot it. Okay. Looks like a penstemon. Penstemon? Okay, I'll have to look that up, Lisa. Penstemon. I have no idea. Never heard of that. All right, so this piece, I'm going to make sure it's close to the top there. And then I'm going to use adhesive on the back of this and put it down flat on top of the Hive piece of Misty Moonlight. A little bit of glue up there on the ribbon. And then that's going to match up with the top of the card. I'm just leaving a little bit of the Hive embossing folder showing on the left there. Okay, hold that down for a second to get that to adhere. I'm going to move this out of the way, and then on the back of this we're going to add part of a doily. So the doilies that come with this suite come in 3 different colors. They come in cinnamon cider, which is what I used on my sample, the basic gray, and then Misty Moonlight. So does anyone care which color I use on this one? All 3 of them would work. So if you want to put in the comments which color doily to use on the back of this, let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this right on here, and it's going to hang down and we're going to trim that off. But this part, I'm going to put this on with dimensional. So again, comment, let me know. Do you want me to use Misty Moonlight, cinnamon cider, or basic gray doily for my project? And I've got a few small pieces of dimensional to use on this. I'm going to use a mini there. Mini there. Right. Okay. Any votes so far? So either basic gray, Misty Moonlight, or cinnamon cider. Make sure I don't miss any comments. If not, I'll pick. So I'm going to stick this on here, and again, it's going to hang over a little bit, but you want it to, of course, not cover up your words, but go kind of be the tallest of the flowers there. And then I'm going to take my snips and just trim off what hangs down below. All right, I've got a cinnamon cider vote. Thank you, Irene. Anybody else have a vote? So just trim that off so it matches up with that little piece at the bottom there. Cinnamon cider looks to be the vote so far, and that works out nicely because I already have one cut in half. But if you were doing it with one of the others, you just cut one of these in half, then you would have 2 pieces to use on 2 different projects. And we're going to adhere this just like that on the back of this piece of basic white, which is cut out again with the Stitch So Sweetly. So I'm going with cinnamon cider. All right, and that's going to just be sticking out to the left side there. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals on the back of this piece and adhere those down. And this is kind of a leftover pack of dimensionals. I'm cutting the edges here to use up. And then this is going to get popped up, and we've got a couple finishing touches. So this will get popped up right on the front there. And I'm going to trim up the ribbon. This denim ribbon is really versatile. I hope it sticks around a while. I loved it before. I love it again. Still love it. Of course, it's part of the mini catalog offering, so it'll be around at least till June. We know that because the mini catalog isn't retiring. It's just the main catalog that's retiring right now. All right, and then we're going to add some Week of Stella. So we're going to just put that on the flowers, the yellow Bumblebee flowers. And then we're going to add a little bit of bling. So at our stamp camp this time, in the packets, of course, each person got project pieces to make 20 cards. So 4 designs, 5 of each. And then additionally, they got an entire pack of the linen thread, in which we used that on several of the projects, not this one. And then they got a pack of the new Waves Rhinestones, which I don't have any close at hand, but I do have the holiday rhinestones, which have some lovely blue, same color blue. So I'm going to use those for this particular one. But they got a pack of the Waves Rhinestones as well. Okay, so we're going to stick a few of these on our project to finish it off. So it was a really fun day of stamping. We had a great group. The weather was crazy that day, but we managed through it all. That was the day where we started at our morning and it was in the 60s. And then the temperature plummeted and we had like crazy high winds and rain and storms. And then in the afternoon, it was literally snowing. And I'm not kidding you. When we left the venue, I drove home in snow. And it was 65 when I unloaded my car that morning. So it was a crazy weather day. But there you go. Thank you for inspiring me. Hopefully I've inspired you a little bit. And this is a fun card, again, using products from our mini catalog, which goes through June. Don't forget that if you want to place an order for any products that are be retiring, the retiring list officially comes out tomorrow. And for those of us that are demonstrators, we get to see the new catalog as a sneak peek starting tomorrow online. But if you're not a demonstrator, you'll have to wait a little while. We won't be able to get our hands on those until April. And then it will go live on May 3rd, the new big catalog. But again, the mini catalog, these are the products from the Heart and Home Suite, found on page 58. And mostly on 59. Then you can also see bigger versions of the stamp sets and dies on 60 and 61. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And I hope you have a great rest of the day too, because it's only lunchtime. All right, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.